So you're basically streaming on Facebook and...
Oh, the technology, it's amazing.
I know, I am amazing for managing to do this. Oh, here we are, look. Sorry, Rachel, it's just taken ages.
Okay.
We are now live on Facebook.
We're live.
Yeah, we are live. Good morning. Morning.
Good morning.
We have a lovely Rachel with us this morning. Rachel, whereabouts are you based? Because you're a couple of hours ahead of us in Marbella, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Qatar in the Middle East. So yeah, it's 10 o'clock in the morning here on a Saturday. So it's my weekend, go to work tomorrow. So I'm up early to do this with you both.
Oh, thank you so much, lovely.
Thank
you. So Rachel, let's just kick off with, when did you join the Midlife Method? How long ago was it?
It was in January that I started with you both. I think it's just second week in January that I decided to take a leap and join the Midlife Method. But I'd actually been following you both for a while on with your podcast. So I would put you on in the morning when I went out for a run or a walk. And so I kind of started learning about you both and your philosophy for some time before I actually joined the programme.
It's a really nice way to do it. It builds trust that that's what the podcast is there for, is to give information, but also to get to know us a little bit. So yeah.
So why did you decide to join the program? What were some of the challenges you were facing that made you take that leap on board?
I think one of the biggest things for me, James, was I was doing stuff but not really getting results, and so I was finding it frustrating and demotivating, and so I'd be like, well, it's not worth it, it's not working. Quite committed to exercise but wasn't seeing any real shift in my, I was focusing on weight, but also I just felt quite alone and I needed some support. And I think like I work in environment where I develop leaders, and I know that leaders at all levels need support and they have mentors and coaches, and actually I was like, I need some support. I need to be tapping into people that can support me to feel better about me. So yeah, that was really why I felt a little bit lost, to be fair.
Yeah, we had a really, really lovely, honest conversation, didn't we, before you decided to join? And you're just sharing some of those challenges. Like, how were you feeling, if you don't mind sharing, like, how were you feeling? I know you just said a bit lost, but like, how were you feeling about yourself and your old life? Because that's gone now, but how are you feeling about your life?
So I really dislike myself and I want to look at myself in the mirror. I felt completely unattractive, just really hated me. And, a lot of people that know me would find that hard to believe, because generally on the outside I'm quite up and enthusiastic and I seem confident, but actually what was going on the inside was a lot of negative self-talk and felt a lack of self-worth and really didn't feel attractive. I was miserable and just even like with my husband, I didn't feel attractive. I was like, don't touch me, don't come near me. I don't want to be I don't really want to hug or a kiss or anything because I just don't like me. So pretty low, I'll be honest.
Thank you for being so honest about that. I'm sure that is going to resonate with so many people. So thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
Thank you, darling. We'll talk about some of like what's happened, because we've had the privilege to see you completely grow and completely change, and to have these conversations with you about what life looks like now. But before we do, why was it at that point that you decided to, we spoke at the beginning of January, but why then at that particular point?
Well, again, because I think it's not going to change. If you keep on doing the things, it's not actually going to change. So you need to do something different. You need to do, and I needed some support. Like I really needed some support. I'd been trying things on my own, and I wasn't feeling successful. I didn't feel any accomplishment. I didn't feel any challenge or stretch. And I just knew that whilst I could talk to other people, there weren't the right people that I was maybe talking to. I needed to speak to people who were experts and who have demonstrated and can support people to achieve health and well-being goals, really. Well-being. I mean, really, it wasn't so much about my waistline. It wasn't so much about my waistline, and it wasn't so much, it was about what was going on in my head and how I was feeling. And I was very mindful that it wasn't healthy. So I needed to shift that, and actually I knew that I was worth it as well.
You 100% are, and like what you've achieved is amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kind of talked about where you started from. Maybe you want to share where you are now, like some of the physical results, but also the way you touched on there, the very important, like the emotional, the mental.
What does life look like now?
So what life looks like now is that I know I feel better about me 95% of the time. I can look at myself in the mirror. I was in the gym yesterday. We were going out for dinner, and I'd had a busy day. I was doing some work, and I was like, I'm going to the gym. I was like, oh, I don't really want to do hits, and I don't really, but actually I was like, get your stuff on, get your gear on. And I actually look at myself in the mirror when I'm working out, and I like, actually, my bum looks smaller, my arms feel strong, look stronger. And it just, yeah, I feel more motivated, or not even motivated, but I know that this is my medicine that makes me feel better in me, but also fuels me for the rest of the day or the week. And I know that I can shift my mindset as well, because I'm going to be honest, not every day is a bed of roses. There's still moments when you're like, on a little bit of a down, something will happen and I might react to that. But actually, I now have strategies to help me feel better in me. But not only that, I've also realized that actually a lot of things about myself, and some of the things that are impacting me is not about me. It's not actually me. There's other things that are happening around about me. And I have got a choice to change my life and do something different as well. So, yeah.
Amazing.
I don't think that answers your question. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, it totally does. So talk about some of the, we always love it because some people, they do come for the physical rewards and the benefits of working with us. But like you said, I think because you listen to the podcast and stuff, it's about a complete holistic life transformation. Like you can't do one without the other. However, so you've talked about some of like how you feel there, and it's amazing, like the strength. But what can you tell us some of the results you had, like actual metrics, because they're amazing.
So I think in the 8 weeks in the program, in terms of kilos, I lost 3.5 kilos. And I have to say, in terms of what I'd been doing previously, I was losing a kilo and then it's going back on, or, I'd lose 2 and then it would just go back on and more. So that's the weight one. My hips and my waist, I think my hips, I lost, 3-4 inches on my hips, and the same on my waist. I didn't do any other measurements, but as I said, my arms, I certainly see more definition and shape in my arms. And my husband said to me last night, Rachel, not that you had a big bum before, but I think your bum's disappearing. So,
hey!
And I see that, I see it, far more toned.
Can I just ask something? Because people thinking about doing something like this and coming on it, one of the concerns they have is also, is it going to be really restricted eating? But you mentioned there, like, my day, I went to the gym, they went out for dinner. So let me just like talk about the food part of it, how you found that.
Yeah, absolutely, James. And I like to, my husband's a chef. What we enjoy together is eating out and enjoying a glass of wine or two. So that is one of the struggles I've always had, because actually this is our life and we enjoy that. So I don't want it to then feel like I can't have, because then it then becomes a bad kind of challenge, or this challenge in your head. But for me, I didn't make any huge changes, to be perfectly honest with you, in terms of what I have. I can still have, you know, a slice of toast with my breakfast if I choose that. I can still have, fortunately, I'm not a huge carb person, so I'm not a pasta and rice person, but you can have that. But I think for me, I made small changes. So one of the things was just no carbs in my evening meal. That's easy. Breakfast is making sure I had a balance in my breakfast, so more protein. So really thinking about the balance of foods that I was having. So not just, if I was having toast, I reduced it from 2 slices to 1 slice, but then I would have an egg with it or a Greek yogurt and fruit. So there's a balance of the food. So I was fuller for longer, more satisfied. And, you know, at lunchtime, again, focusing more on proteins and veg. But again, still, if I wanted to have some carbs with that. So it was small changes. And I think I would say, like, I'm not 100%, but in the evenings, after my evening meal, I don't eat. And that was a big change, because we would get into the habit of, once our youngest child was in bed, you know, it'd be like, okay, we'll have a cup of tea and we'll have a biscuit or bit of chocolate. If I want something now, I take a piece of dark chocolate and peanut butter or something. So if I need something, and it's more, you don't have the sugar high, and it's more satisfying. So I didn't make huge sacrifices with food, I'm not gonna lie. And I could still have the things that I enjoy. And if I want to, when I say indulge, it's like last night we went out for dinner, we had went for Chinese. Again, it's choosing things that you know. So I don't have rice with the Chinese, like, I'm not a huge Chinese person. That was our choice, the family choice, but I didn't have the rice. So I had the chicken. I had duck wrapped in lettuce rather than stuff. So just little changes.
Yeah. Amazing.
Awesome.
And just one of those things as well about kind of restriction. You have a very busy, very stressful, very like high energy job. Like, you look after a lot of people at work. Like, what would you say to those people that say, I don't have time, I couldn't fit it into my work? Because you have an incredibly busy job.
Well, I'd say that's just an excuse, and you need to get over it, because actually you need time for yourself. You need to carve out time for you. The thing that I did, and I mean, it's one of the joys that I have, I'm still working from home, so I'm not commuting to work. So in the morning, I get up early. I can take my children to school. We take turns, husband and I take turns. And I go to the gym and I do most of my stuff before I even get to work. So getting up, giving yourself that time, carving out that time in the morning. And I can do most of the stuff. And some of the workouts are 20, 25 minutes. Some are longer, depending how you mix it up with a range of whether it's your HIIT and whether it's strength. You can do them both together. I can even stand and do a HIIT whilst I'm having a break from work if I wanted to right now. Now, I know that's not realistic long term, but actually, and I keep on hearing people saying, I don't have time for this stuff. Well, actually, that's just a load of rubbish, because if you've got time to sit and watch Netflix or sit on your phone, that's just time wasted. And what it gives you in return. So if you spend an hour in the gym on you'll be buzzing for the rest of the day. You'll make better choices as well. So I would say, if you can do it in the morning, because I do sometimes, ideally I do it in the morning, but if I do it later on in the day, it doesn't have the same kick. And I'm not going to lie, I had a really bad week last week at work, and I missed a few workouts in the morning. And sort of day 3 of feeling rubbish, I went and had a run, and my mood and everything shifted for that day, and it just impacts your whole, I guess, what your thoughts, your ideas, how you behave in that day. So so make the time, get out your bed an hour earlier.
Thank you for being so honest.
It's so true though, right? Isn't it? It comes from your your experience, you know, like we know, us three know how busy your work is and what you've got going on. So if you can make time, I have to say, if someone like you can make time that's got, you know, a husband, children, like you've got a busy life just overall. So for you to be able to fit this into your life has been amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, not just I have a job, I'm finishing my MBA. I'm also set in the process of starting up a business. My kids, I have my kids study. So there's plenty of time you can make time.
Yeah.
My hero.
Well, we'll let you go and enjoy
Yes.
the rest of your day. Last question. If someone was like on the fence thinking about doing this or not, what would you say?
What I'd say is that you are your most valuable asset. Invest in yourself, you're worth it. Give yourself permission to change your life and look after yourself. And the investment is nothing in terms of what it will give you back. So, you know, the return on investment, not to be, so what you pay, it will quadruple it in terms of what you gain from it. So sell something on eBay if you're really struggling, or, you know, cancel your coffees for a week, couple of weeks that you're having in Starbucks. You know, if you add it all up, the things that you're subscribing to that you don't actually use. So use that money to invest in yourself and you know, take the leap.
Yeah, because it takes courage to take the leap, but once you have, you know, this is why we do it, is to support you and to show people what's possible. But you're there sitting on this call showing what's possible to other people. That's amazing, Rachel.
Yeah,
Rachel,
you're awesome.
My goodness, like the difference in you, it's a massive privilege to see how.
And we're getting to carry on working with you. Which
yeah, you've carried on working with us, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think that's really for me. And I think it was one of the things that you'd said, like, I didn't want to stop. I wanted to still have that form of accountability and just some guidance. And I wanted the journey to continue, because I think one of, you know, I've made some changes in terms of my habits, but I want to really make this a lifestyle. So really continue the journey so that it will be sustained over the longer term.
Yeah, that's what we want people to do, the 8 weeks and then be able to carry on with us in some form or another, which is what you're doing. So many people end up doing because of just that, you know, like you said right at the beginning, we all need support and accountability, you know, and I think it's just amazing that we get to carry on working with you, Rachel. Thank you. You go and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Have a fabulous weekend.
Thank you both. Thank you both. It's been a pleasure working with you. And I wouldn't say working with you, I'd say it is, it's more than just working, it's deeper than that, and I appreciate it. So thank you both very much.
We appreciate
Thank
you, Rachel.
We appreciate you too.
Sending you so much love. You're awesome.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Big hug, darling. You take care.
Bye.